Hello everyone, good evening. It's Dr. Rao coming to you on a topic I talked this morning about what kind of mind needs entertainment. You know, a mind that is organized does not need entertainment. See, this is more like not a rebuke of joy or laughter, but it's a reminder, you know, a return to a forgotten truth, one that both ancient sages and modern scientists are beginning to whisper together. Fulfillment comes not from more content, but from more coherence, right? So, a disorganized mind really is not together with itself, and that requires some escape from all that. Why do we binge watch, scroll endlessly, or drown in clickbait? Because a fragmented mind cannot still sit still. Okay? It seeks escape, not engagement. It fills silence with sound and time with distraction. This is the mind caught in the whirlpool of mental fluctuations. Okay? That were described in Patanjali Yoga Sutras as chitta vrittis. So, yoga chitta vritti nirodha is that is the statement. Right? Yoga is the cessation of the whirlpools in the mind. When the inner world is in disarray, entertainment becomes anesthesia, not nourishment, like a distraction. Okay, so let's find out organized mind, which is full and not fidgety. Okay, so it's more like it's not a merely well-planned calendar or a tidy to-do list. It's a mind in harmony with its deeper self, where body, breath, and awareness are aligned. Right? So it no longer seeks diversion because it is already immersed in life. Every act, eating, walking, speaking, is infused with meaning. The joy comes out of from within. So in neuroscience, this resembles flow, a state of deep engagement where time dissolves and satisfaction abides, right? Stillness is not the absence of activity, but the presence of alignment. Alignment with your deeper soul. Let's look at the entertainment versus engagement. See, entertainment is mostly a consumption thing. Engagement is created. One is passive, the consumption. The other is presence. That is something really you have to think about, right? So when we are organized inwardly, we no longer need external stimulation. We become the artist, not the audience, the dancer, not the observer, the flame, and not the moth. Okay, so there is an ancient wisdom on this, and there is a modern need on this. See, if you take something like a Bhagavad Gita that teaches us to live yogastha kuru karmani, established in the stillness of yoga, act in the world. The same with the modern thinkers or philosophers like Jiddu Krishnamurti once said, It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. And also, somebody like Ramana Maharshi said, real peace is within, not without. So, the truly organized mind lives in the now, and the now is rich enough not to need ornamentation. Okay, so I'm going to extend a gentle invitation to fill our lives with not more noise, but organize the mind through silence in the morning before the scroll, intentional breath before a meeting, loving attention before reaction, stillness before stimulation. See, these, because a mind anchored in truth, purpose, and awareness becomes a living celebration. So, no Netflix is required. Okay. So, how do you get an organized mind? You know, first of all, you want to understand breath and the thought have the opposite relationship. Like, if you are running too many thoughts, your breath will be shallow and rapid. On the other hand, if you slow down your breath and you go deeper, you will slow down your thoughts. And that's the relationship they have. So everybody knows about this. Take a deep breath. They say, don't be so worried. Take a deep breath. Even the patients who come for anxiety and all that, they have rapid thought all the time, right? And then we give them a brown bag, and they breathe into it, and then that repeated retained carbon dioxide. Otherwise, it is not lost, and they will have a hyperventilation syndrome that goes away, and they kind of regain their center, and the anxiety goes down. There's something everybody knows about it. So always use the uh, real thought, you know, and then look at yourself. How are you physically? Are you moving about because you are anxious and you are breathing fast? Or how is your speech? Is that clear, calm, quiet, or is that hurried and all that? And how do you feel? That's also important. And what are the facial features? How do they come out, in that time of the day? So all those things are important. And more important is you have to watch your thoughts as object. This is what I talk about all the time. So when you watch the thought, you can watch them like they don't belong to you. They're something object. And then they slow down. And as you slow down, you can go all the way to one thought and then observe the thought. And the fourth thing comes. The first thing is the deep breath. Second thing is really observing your movement, your speech, and your facial, all the physical things. And third thing is you observe the thoughts themselves as objects. And the fourth thing is when you discover those thoughts are negative, you want to cognitively reframe them to from negative to positive. That in yoga they're termed as pratipaksha bhava. Okay, that means the opposite thing you want to bring in. Okay, so if you are anxious, you want to find the peace about it. And if you are really fearful, you want to bring in the assurance into it, something positive. Okay, this is very important because how you think, how you uh, really establish the thinking in a positive way is very important, because that's how you're going to create your own brain. That is what we know with the neuroplasticity now. So we want people to be optimistic, resilient, resilient, and also really understanding what's going on with things. Okay, so it's a question of understanding how to really identify our thinking, which happens to be negative. Then do change that to positive. That is the pratipaksha bhavana. That is the cognitive reframing. Either way, both the yoga and the modern science talk about this. it's important for us to recognize that we have the ability to think out positively, to really change our negative thinking to positive, and thereby creating our own brain, higher intellect. Okay, um, frontal cortex, that is there. But many people react from the base brain, which is the reptile brain, where the fear, anxiety, all these things happen. But as a human being, you have much higher cortex of staying up there. Prefrontal cortex is a big deal. That in yoga known as buddhi, or higher intellect. So you don't want to act from your base instincts of fear, anxiety, and all that, but you want to act from the higher intellect of pause, caution, understanding, and reflecting, and all that. Okay, so to have this kind of organized mind, really it has got to do with your awareness. Are you aware that you are behaving like this? Are you aware that you are running too many thoughts and too fast? Are you aware that you don't breathe deeply? And are you aware that you are not recruiting your vagus nerve by deep breathing? And that all that awareness really helps you a lot. Are you aware of your negativity? Are you aware of your facial features or speech or movement, how you are moving about? Are you aware of your thoughts are coming to you, and then there can be seen like that, but because you create those thoughts much more stronger by thinking about the same thoughts again and again and again. Okay, so think about that. That really makes a big deal for anybody. you know uh, a person who is not having a organized mind, he is not aware of anything. That's why deeper awareness, deeper consciousness is needed, and understanding the conscious being. Then you say, "Ah, that is what really I am." All these thoughts come and go. When you have that kind of feeling, then you will be able to really strive towards organizing your mind. That is, you are deeply conscious about yourself, your inner self, your inner essence, and then use the thought better. Use the thought to promote harmony inside and outside. Who use the thought for more constructive things, positive things, friendship or loving relationships, or helping relationships. Lots of things you can do by what you think, what you say, and what you do. There's a ancient saying, this manasa vacha karmana. By what you think, your speech will be there, and according to the speech, usually your actions come out. Okay, so that's a very important way to be in coherence, in alignment. Okay, the organized mind is already aligned with our inner essence. That's why it knows the purpose and truth and aware of what it is to do, and it is happy to do it because it's already reaches the joyful nature of the essence, happy nature of the essence, and then you will be doing that. So as you are doing in flow, as you are enjoying the work, you don't want to have any diversion, you don't want to seek any entertainment. So this is that big deal. Okay, so if you are functioning with an organized mind, and later on you want to really take some break and enjoy something, that's fine. But when it is entertainment used as an escape, as a diversion, because you cannot take your mental turmoil, that's where I think we are using entertainment in the wrong way, and also in the long run it's not good for us. Okay, so I am really uh, talking about this organized mind for a long time, and many people, they listen, but they don't go to these 4 steps I said. Take a deep breath, watch your movements, speech, or how you really observe your thoughts or not. Um, and even just looking at your facial features, you will know. Then catch yourself whether you are indulging with whatever thought comes to you, or suppressing them, or you are watching them as though they are the clouds going through the sky and you are the sky. In you, in the sky, thoughts happen and they come, and then you can be really subject and watch the objective thoughts. And you will be aware of whether you are not aware. The more you are deeper in your awareness, the more you will be organized in your thought, that is directed, purposeful, and really goal oriented. Then you will get a lot of benefit of the functional, organized mind, and then it recedes after it is done. Not the unorganized where everything is happening all over. Thoughts come and thoughts go. You indulge or you suppress. You kind of act it out. All those things without any pause, without any consultation. Then that unorganized mind really makes a lot of problems for you, and you really have less chance of achieving your goals that you have, inside. Not the materialistic goal, but in spirituality too, in terms of how calm you are, how peaceful you are, how happy you are by yourself, and how harmonized you are with your society, with earth, and all that. How considerate you are to other people, how loving you are. All those spiritual qualities will not be possible when you are taking out all the thoughts that come around. You may be taking an opinion on a person because you have those opinions. That's just a thought, right? But if he's a human being too, he can make that kind of thing, and then you will be able to um, really forgive them and forget. So those things are very healthy for you, as you don't retain these things. Okay, so consider that. Understand whether you are really uh, having an organized mind or not. When you have an organized mind, you don't get a negative thought and act on it right away. You pause and see whether you can convert the negative thought to positive. So in the long run, you become more positive about human beings' intelligence, about this capacity of turning negativity into positivity. And also, not only mental health is improved, your physical health also improved, because you are creating very positive neurohormones too. That's why understanding that only one world, we're all in one energy, and we have that oneness where in the consciousness we are only one. And as a tribe, human beings are human beings, so we are all one. Then you don't want to hurt them or do anything that is detrimental to them, because they are you. So all these ancient principles of realizing, not like a statement, but they went into that, and they found the person, everybody around you are also reacting like you, are responding like you, are fearing like you, are suffering like you. So in that commonality, we are all one, right? So that's why they said Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world, all animated, all life, living beings are one energy. And there's a ekata. Ekta means oneness. We're all in the oneness only. And what people do, oh, we are individual people. No, individual means indivisible. You know, that kind of thing. If you have, but you are broken into your body, your mind, and your the soul, and all like that. You don't consider yourself the whole holistic whole. Once you have that, then you can also realize everybody else is in that wholeness. In that way, we are all oneness. These are not crazy concepts. These are crazy things that people who think they are individual, separated from other people, and they have problems with loneliness, with suicidal thing, and all that, because they think they are lonely, but they are not lonely. They are all together. We are all together, actually. So we may have different bodies, different minds, but in the life force that we are all one. That will come and then give the body animation, mind animation. But when it leaves, it goes take our other body and life. So that is all the theories people have. But then basically, you can see life continuing. You can see the grass going down completely in the winter, but then when the circumstances are convenient for them, the grass comes back with life. So we see like that. Old people die and then infants born. And so the energy of life continues to propagate, produce new life and all that. It's not like new life is coming from where. Whatever is the life is always continuing, right? So that kind of thing. So consider this. You don't have to blame yourself, but just ask yourself, am I really have a mind that is organized, that is stable with itself, that is joyful with itself and happy, and does not engage in a lot of division, lot of negativity, and say, am I anchored in my truth, in my purpose, in my awareness? Then living becomes a celebration. So the organized mind that is anchored in truth, purpose, and awareness becomes a living celebration. You don't need any entertainment channels for that. Okay. Um, Look at the energy that we spend in entertainment, and at the end of it, you want to see more entertainment, but nothing comes out of it. I remember Krishnamurti was pointing out, he was staying at a place, and opposite to the place, he saw somebody playing the radio, and the radio went on going on. And he, because it's a tropical country, all the windows are open, so you can hear the radio of that other house to you. You know, even me, my house is away from the opposite house, but we could hear the radio going on. And Krishnamurti observed all the people who are doing other activities while the radio is going on, playing the music or whatever, news or whatever, right? There was no TV at the time, it's only radio. And he said, it is funny that the radio has no influence on these people's behavior, on these people's understanding of the life, anything like that. It goes on going it, and people listen, and then that's it. So news may be some meaningful, weather may be meaningful, and some of the related importance about the schools and other things, they're important. But then in terms of inner transformation of a human being from negativity to positivity, it doesn't seem to break up. But on the other hand, the one that is unorganized mind, it needs the diversion. Okay. So I think a lot of people with the entertainment industry will be unhappy, but I'm talking about something truth. So you establish your mind into an organized mind, then you won't crave for the entertainment. You can use the entertainment when you want to. Okay. So anybody has any questions, you can come up and see that. There is a lot in this practice of, first of all, identifying whether your mind is organized or not. It takes inner reflection, inner lesson. Nobody need to point out to you. You want to find out for yourself whether your mind is organized or disorganized. And then you can start with the deep breathing in the morning and get your mind to the present moment with the awareness. And then don't get into the world of information and everything with the devices that you have, which will take you into thought world, not establishing the awareness of your own thoughts, and because they will multiply. You will never come back to that reflective state. So I recommend, don't open your devices at least for 15 minutes after you wake up. And then establish yourself by being in the present. One easy way to do this is do the 10 deep breaths. And make sure you are aware of what's going on with your breath, and then deep breath, then it will slow down the mind. Then make sure that you are physically, speech wise, and also facial expressions wise, you don't show the restless mind. Okay, if it is showing, then you can know that it is doing that, and then sit down, close your eyes, and see what's going on within you, and observe the thoughts as objects. This is what I do in my morning report. I invite people to be aware and to be observation of the objective thought. And then if you slow down, if you watch the thought enough, there will be one thought that you could stay with, and then you could identify the thought, whether it's negative or positive. You can record an angry, anxious, or fearful. All those are negative thoughts, right? Then you can take one thought and do this cognitive reframing. That is how you practice all day. And then when you are working, complete attention to the work makes you not to think a lot of other things unrelated to the work. Okay, yeah. Then you can use the thought properly. But then after using the thought, don't cling on to it. Okay, that is the problem. Okay, let it go. After that is used and is done, then let it go. Don't be reactive, but responding with your higher intellect, not the base reptile brain, which is kind of fearful and anxious and all that, right? Animal brain, So you don't want to do that. So, and then pay attention to the work and use the thought with a higher intellect. If you take a pause, if there's an initial spurt of thought, then you will see your higher wisdom is acting on. And at the end of the day, make sure you are cleaning up everything from morning till evening, and then go to sleep. And after you do this for several weeks and months and years, then you will grow into what is called organized mind, that is aware, that has a purpose, and that has truth in it. Okay, so a very big deal for a lot of people. But even be aware that there is an organized mind, there is a disorganized mind, there is a way to go to the organized mind. Any questions, you DM me and ask me, and I'll be happy to talk to you and help you understand. Okay. So, anybody here now want to talk about it? Okay. The stranger, Peter, is coming up. I talk to him all the time. I'm just kidding. Namaste, Peter.
Strange land. No. Namaste. How are you?
Can
you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I just caught the tail end of your talk, but organized mind. Yeah, I talked to you earlier today, and I was able to at least, with a little drifting, but I was able to at least stay in present moment awareness and the now moment. Yeah. And I was able to get organized. Even a couple little fires that came up, I was able to extinguish them without incident, so to speak. So
one thing I would suggest, Peter, use the thought, but don't cling on to it afterwards. Okay, right. I'll tell you one. I'll show you one thing. Suppose you are talking to me, right, on the phone, like we did earlier, and we had a specific subject, and then we talked about it, and you pay complete attention while you are doing that. Use all your faculties and use the higher intellect in the means, not immediate reactive one, but taking a pause and bringing in your inner wisdom. That is what is called buddhi in Sanskrit ancient wisdom, but the modern science calls it as prefrontal cortex. See what it is? Cortex, yeah, right. We have the base mind, this is the reptile mind, that is really reactive. Okay, and it is reactive because it's supposed to, if you have a immediate danger, it is supposed to react like that. But we are given the blessing of higher brains, where you have pause, you have judgment, you have consideration, you have reflection, you have learned lessons. That is the wisdom and all that. For example, two people are fighting. We generally say, no, don't fight, just settle down your argument, understand each other, something like that, right? For all that, you need the pause. You don't want to go where immediate reaction or impulse. So human beings are endowed with that blessing of non-judgmental, accepting people, being friendly, and all that. So you had the discussion with me, and we did that. And what you want to do is, what is that he's talking about? What is the learned lesson for me? Okay? Only grasp that. Don't have to remember the entire conversation, entire data. That data you let go. Conversation essence is about something, and you got it. That's the learned lesson, you want to use it. And that you can absorb and store it, but actively let go the other things. That is, people are not doing it, because that's why there is so much data accumulates in our brain. That is
it's incredible.
Yeah, that is taking the not only space, our energy also. You see, like
it's a waste of energy.
Yeah, it's kind of not really being cognitive, but putting the cognitive to use, and afterwards slip into our inner silence.
Yeah.
That is complicated, because people think, oh my God, what do you have to do for that? All you have to do is, next thing that comes up, you give your complete attention to the next thing.
Right.
Like, for example, you're going for a meeting that is good.
I'm practicing.
Yeah, that's it. Once you practice that, then you'll be able. The other thing is, these thoughts linger on. And then the more unconsciously you allow them to linger on, the more they form their own pathways. That's where you are creating your own brain.
Right.
See, that's why you got to have a purpose, you got to have something that you are doing, and then you are aligned with that purpose and meaning and all that, then it is easy for you to go back to that, rather than allowing everything come and dictate you. That's why alignment is important. Alignment of your duty, your purpose, your truth, all that is awareness.
Right.
See, when you are in awareness, when you are in awareness, you don't have these thoughts going on. So be in awareness and use the thoughts, and then finish them. Then you are an organized mind. See, you are already organized, not in a way that you're going to dismiss everybody. No, you are organized about your inner purpose, inner goal, and all that, and you kind of stay there. For example, your goal could be, I just want to be aware, but not going on thinking about these things. Okay? That is very nurturing also, because my energy secret is that I'm not in the constant thought. Even though I use thought to express to you, I am in awareness and talking.
Right.
That is essentially thoughtless state. That's why you don't need meditation.
That's what I was just going to say that. Like, and I've learned that from you, of course, but you clarified the purpose of it. Like if like things are really getting crazy with me, my thoughts are really racing. In order to get to where I want to be, sometimes that present moment awareness, it's time to quiet the mind. And that's where meditation would come in, if I gather what you said correctly.
Yeah. What it is awareness versus perpetual thought. Thought given importance, it will go to another thought, another thought, another thought, like the network. So I don't allow that.
Of thought.
Yeah, I don't allow that. What I do is I will be so aware of what is going on with the thought. I use it, and afterwards it is done. It is not given the propagation. That's a very difficult thing because people are used to have these connections, and those connections are happening synapses in the brain. So lots of times they are not even in your control. That's why when you reflect, when you go deeper, then you get that. So the higher cognitive function is so high, it doesn't allow it these unconscious things to go on. Because you are always aware and in the present and alive. You are not in the past thought or the future thought. You are alive here and now. That kind of thing.
One of the strongest realizations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is kind of very energetic. And you are alive. You are alive and you are awake and you are aware.
Yeah.
When you're in thought, actually you are not alive. Yeah, when you're thought, you are not alive. But when you're aware and having thoughts, then you are really alive.
Right.
That's complicated, really, but I had to put you that way, Say, like, for example, if something is sleeping, right? And then you think it's dead, and you go there, suddenly it makes a move and gets up, a snake or a frog or whatever, then you startle because that is alive.
Yeah.
With the negative is this thought that is established itself in an unorganized way, then you are not really alive in that sense. You are not awake and aware. You don't have the spark. But the moment you kind of above that, then you are a thoughtless state of awareness, then you can use thought and stop it. Actually, it's very simple thing. Very simple thing. But we make it very complicated because we have to explain everything. Suppose you feel fear, for example, Peter, you are afraid of something. Do I have to tell you how the fear feels?
No.
You know that, So at that moment fear is happening, you don't describe, you just experience that.
That's a beautiful example. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that example.
Like Peter is there. Peter is a human being. That means him and me are of the same tribe. And I have that feeling established. How can I separate you like a Peter Carrington or male or black or American? I don't.
Right.
That feeling
because there is no difference.
Yeah, that feeling is not there because we kind of established these barriers in us.
Yeah.
And also experience.
That's what the mind does, I think. That's what the mind wants to do.
That is the disorganized mind, because it is going all identifying everything and going. For me, I don't have to carry all that. See the energy save?
Yeah.
That energy save. So that means you are always alive. And also you use your faculties of body and mind and all, but you don't identify with the body and mind. See, that is important. I think this is a very important thing that people have to grasp it. And that's why I cannot give it to you. I can say this is, but you go and find out yourself.
Yeah.
If it is description stationary, I can give it to you. But it's something alive within you, you feel like fear. How can I give it to you?
Right.
I can relate to you. I can describe it how I'm feeling, but your feeling is yours. That's it. Right. My breakthrough 100%. happened, Peter, when Ramana Maharshi was giving kind of talking to somebody about who do you think you are? And that man said, oh, I'm this person, this body that's sitting in front of you. Then he goes from there to, can you stay without a part of the body? They say, yeah, if a hand is chopped, still the person can survive and stay there, right? Like that, he goes all of that. Then finally he says, but do you feel I am that I am inside? You feel that,
Yeah.
says, yeah, I feel that, but it is not seen. Then he said, you are analyzing with your intellect. Don't do that.
Right.
Intuitively feel that.
Yeah.
That's where my breakthrough. That's where my breakthrough. I can just stop doing the analysis and cognitive and all that. They became functions, but not the real thing.
Right.
Then what happened was I felt that. Then immediately stayed there.
Right.
The other people, unorganized mind, what it does is after you sleep and get up, it again goes into that cognitive matter, analytic matter, and all. That is why high intellectuals also don't have this self-realization. You got to be simple, very simple to feel that inside of us. So it's not the intellect, it's not the senses which go out. It is your intuition feeling. Then you can feel what you really are. That doesn't need factual accumulation or descriptions and all that. That is something like a fear. You feel it and then you know that is it. But staying in that is the challenge. Because there's tracts of neurological tracts we form in our own mind. They're called samskaras or ingrained thoughts, I say. And they have their own lifeline. They come back. The practice is how far away you can be from them into our real station. For me, the blessing is I stayed, like for example, Eckhart Tolle. The turn came to him one day. He was very depressed, and then he got the thought, I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
And he got that, and then he said, are there two? One is telling to kill another one.
Right.
Then, because he was landed in that spot where everything dissolved.
Right.
The whole structure of the thought dissolved, and you know what? He stayed there all the time.
Yeah.
You see, he was spending on the park bench for 2 years.
Wow.
He did, and then this essence of the present did not leave him. That means he did not go to the past and say, I should have completed my degree, like my mom said, I should have done that. That disorganized mind is not working there for him. And also, it is not projecting future, what will happen, will we survive, nothing. He was stationed in the presence. That's why he was able to survive those 2 years. And then he continued, like speeches also he tells, when he goes to speech, they make him sit in a room and he has to wait for them to introduce and all. Meanwhile, he watches whether he is in the present or not.
But or not, yeah.
That is what anybody can cultivate.
Yeah.
See, problem is they indulge the mind to go to the past or the future. Never alive in the present. That is the problem.
Because there's no entertainment in the present, or so they think.
Yeah, they cannot anchor to the present because the mind takes you away from the present moment. That's when you know you are not living. Very important thing because the people who are in the present actually live and actually contribute, actually conserve a lot of energy, and also it's very easy to live in the present. But then if you live well the present, your future will be okay. It doesn't mean you cannot plan. Only thing is you can do the cerebral work, but don't go imagining, hoping all that into the future at the cost of not doing anything in the present. So that's why I tell, brainstorm, get your plan together, but then each step stay in the present. Completely live and contribute to it. That you are completely living when you are aligned with your inner self, your body and mind, all of them together. That is yoga. I think I tried to explain the best I could. I don't want to make it like a concept. No, it's like something you got to live every moment, and that is being in the present moment awareness. No thoughts, only awareness. That I'm here. I'm talking to friends on the social media. That is my movement right now, and all these things are coming out of me just like that. This is not a prepared thing, or some things maybe in the beginning, but afterwards everything is instantaneous. See, many people miss this present moment living is the real living. They think, oh, I have to learn from the past. Yeah, learn, but why do you have to go and live emotionally there? Oh, I have to plan for the future. Yeah, plan for the future. But then when you're existing and you're executing it, not existing, executing it, live in the moment and execute each process. Then you see what's the say like the quality I bring into the things that I do is because of that. Even my recovery from my stroke was because of that. I never regretted for a moment that I had it, and I shouldn't have had it. I should have taken nothing like that. It is here now. It happened. Just take it. Some things happened too that kind of helped me. For that too. I usually listen to the some people that are spiritual, and one lady was saying. Sometimes it is a blessing from the divine to have this setback so that you can come back with greater strength. That somehow really helped me to realize, oh, this is divine thing. Let's go with it. you know so staying in the moment, there's a remarkable recovery. People who are really surprised, they thought something goofy thing. No, it is not. It is actually behavior by me, and how I kept myself everything in the present, and initiated micro yoga and deep breathing and all that helped a lot. So there was very little energy wasted about why this happened or what's going to happen. None of it. Living each moment completely, and that's a wonderful thing. Okay, anybody else apart from Peter? I think a lot of things came out of it, Peter's talk. That's good. See, these things are not statements. These are the things that you want to listen and then go and really do what is called manana. That is, within your own mind, you may have doubts, you may have questions, you may have, actually, you should have. Don't accept anything and then investigate the truth of the matter. Upon your investigation, upon your questioning, upon your posing questions and doubts, you will come to what you can see as truth. And then, after you have observed the truth, if it is truth, then make sure it is allowed into your life. Otherwise, no meaning. I'll be talking, I'll be happy with my own present moment awareness, no problems. I don't need any recognition. I don't need anybody giving me a lot of things, none of it. But for you to have that inner transformation, that's what happens. Okay. Doris was doing a talk this afternoon. She was talking about inner transformation. I'm glad that she took that subject. Then I told her, you took the mother load to talk about this. So this is about turning inward. Most of the life is outward, and really doing it not by intellect but by intuition, and also staying with it, and then reflecting, and then understanding the previous conditioning and all that, unlearning what you learned as something habit or some kind of saying or some authority and all that. So really going, finding out the truth of the matter is the important inner quest. That is when you have self knowledge, especially in relation to what is happening in life. You see yourself in the mirror of life. That means how you interact. Like I said, I was talking to Peter, and I was completely involved with him. But after he's done, next one is completely involved, and that becomes a very, very quality, valuable thing for you to do. Okay, so that will resolve so many problems, so many things. Okay, so. Anybody else has any questions? Are everybody silent? So. All right, then I will see you again whenever I can. Bye.